Hey, friends, welcome and happy tax season. If you are new, my name is Maya Sims. I'm a CPA and I work primarily with service-based business owners to therapists, coaches, attorneys, professionals. And we focus mostly on women and black owned businesses who are getting to the point where they want to get their businesses ready to scale. This channel is going to be all about education. I'm not trying to turn you into a tax expert. I'm not trying to make you, the top in your class and know all the tax stuff. But we do want to help you get clarity and understanding around your numbers, how they affect your taxes, and vice versa, and help you to make confident business decisions. This is also going to be my very first official YouTube series. So, thank you for being here from the very beginning. We are now in January of 2026, and the IRS is not quite, but they're getting ready to reopen the electronic filing division of the IRS. And generally speaking, they close down every year so that they can update the systems with all the new tax laws. And as you know, we had a major tax bill that was passed during the summer this year. And so they're going to be getting their systems all up and running and getting everything together so that they can be ready for us when it's time to start filing. So over the last year, I'm sure that you have heard a lot of noise around the 2025 tax bill and all the different changes and how it was going to be just this awesome and wonderful thing. And you're going to get all this benefit from it. And, well, maybe, you know, um, we're just going to try to get a more sober and honest, um, I guess, assessment of whether or not, what aspects of the law are going to really be helpful for you and what aspects of the law are not really going to move the needle one way or the other, and what aspects of the law might actually make your life harder because for some business owners, there's going to be additional reporting requirements based on some of these new laws that have been put into place. So, we want to go through and really just talk about the real so that you guys can have an idea of exactly how these things are going to affect you and how you can prepare, right? So, my goal in this series is to really help you to get a clear understanding of what matters, what doesn't, and what could cause problems for you down the road if you don't have a clear understanding of exactly how those things affect you and what you need to do. This channel is really for business owners who want to learn. So, you know, it's not necessarily for those who want to do a DIY or if you want to become a tax professional, but it is here for you guys to learn, for you to be able to get exposed to different concepts and information, and again, for you to really get a firm grasp on how these different tax laws, affect your numbers and affect you, affect your business, affect your employees, and affect your clients. So we want to make sure that you guys are at least prepared for how these things are going to come down the pipe for you. And we want to make sure that you guys are able to make really good and informed decisions so that you can make the best decisions for you and for your team. In our firm, we service a lot of different companies, but our specialties are really focusing in on service based businesses, especially those that are owned and run by minorities, and even more for those that are Black women owned businesses. We definitely want to make sure we're supporting our sisters because the reality is that we are the fastest growing small business segment in the in the demographics. So we want to make sure that we're definitely supporting you guys and making sure that you guys are well prepared for what's coming down. If this sounds like you and you want to learn and you're, one of those people that really could use that additional help, then we want to make sure that you know that you are in the right place. This series is going to really dive deeper into the 2025 tax law, and we want to make sure that since we are focusing on the 2025 tax law, that you guys are aware that we're going to be talking about, how the changes have come out. So, what things have changed compared to 2024 and how those things are going to affect you. What stayed the same? So, it's not going to really be a big change and not going to make a big difference. And what headlines have been a bit misleading, and the things that, like I said before, small business owners really want to be careful about. So, one of the things I want to make sure that I went over in this episode is different deadlines. So, just so that you're aware, the first deadline for or that is coming up is going to be actually tomorrow. If you need to make an estimated payment for fourth quarter, then your deadline to do that is tomorrow. So make sure that you're not late so that you don't get any estimated payment penalties for not paying that fourth quarter estimate on time. Now, of course, if you have a balance due but you've made your proper estimates, then you'll have the opportunity to make a final payment April 15th if it's an individual return, and March 15th if you have a S corp that does pay taxes, which is very rare, or if you have other tax obligations, then some of those are due by the 15th of March as well. So, but your big next deadline is tomorrow for making those estimated payments. If you have independent contractors that you paid in 2025, please note that if you paid them $600 or more, you are obligated to file a 1099 NEC for them, and that deadline is January 31st. So be aware, the deadline for filing the 1099 NECs is January 31st. You want to make sure that you get those done on time because, one, they're just informational returns and you don't really want to get a penalty for not giving out information that you were supposed to give, right? Now, some of you guys might be thinking, hey, I thought that threshold had changed, and it did. However, the new threshold will not go into effect until 2026. So for the 2026 calendar year, the threshold will increase. But for now, for 2025, which is what we're reporting on right now, that threshold will remain the $600 threshold that needs to be met for those filings. If you have not already gotten into this habit, it's really important as a business owner that you have your independent contractors fill out their W-9s before you allow them to work. And here's the thing. I just got off the phone with a client earlier this evening. Oh, I guess that was yesterday. And basically, we were talking about the fact that he had a contractor that he paid like $250 in January, and then he paid him like another $300 in May, and then at the very end of the year he paid him like $650. And when he first hired the guy, he had no idea that he was going to be going over that $600 threshold. However, he did. And so we want to make sure that you guys are going ahead and getting those W-9s filled out in advance. Don't wait until you're sure that they're going to go over the $600, but instead just go ahead, have them fill it out. Technically, you're supposed to be making sure that you get those filled out anyway, so you definitely want to go ahead and make sure that that gets done, okay? Next is going to be the deadline, which is March 15th. If you have a partnership, so if you have an LLC that has multiple members, you have not taken any tax elections, you are going to automatically have to default to a partnership. So you got to start getting your stuff together right away. Why? Because the deadline for partnerships is March 15th, not April. It's March. And that penalty, guys, they're not playing with that penalty. It is pretty steep, and you want to make sure that you have that return done on time, or that you have an extension filed in a timely manner. And then also, if you have an S corporation, that deadline is also on March 15th. So those are your immediate deadlines that are coming up that you want to make sure that you are preparing for and that you're ready for on time. Or if an extension is possible, you want to make sure that you get your extensions filed for those specific deadlines in a timely manner. Later on in some other series, we will be bringing on an HR expert. I have one episode where we're going to also be bringing on an attorney. We're going to have some folks that are fractional CFOs that are going to come and give us some really great advice. So you are going to want to make sure that you come and attend on that episode as well. And we want to make sure that you get the next episode, which is where we're going to start bringing on our HR expert, because there are significant changes that have been made to the tax law that are going to specifically affect payroll. And at the end of the day, HR and payroll taxes, they kind of, go together. They don't actually, they're not in a silo. They're not independent. They actually go hand in hand. And especially when it comes to tax law that affects labor laws or laws that affect policies or affecting around payroll. So make sure that you attend that next episode. We should have that out later on this week. So just keep your eye out for the schedule. If you are watching this and you realize that you actually need some help getting your financials together, getting your structure ready, being able to get ready to scale, or just get ready for this tax season, we have a link in the notes, so you can click on the link and book a call with me, and we can actually sit down and just talk about your situation and see how we can help you. No pressure, but at the end of the day, we want to make sure that you have support and that you have clarity around what you need to do in order to have the best situation for you regarding your taxes. So in the next episode, we're going to start breaking down the specific parts of the 2025 tax law and how those things are going to be, again, beneficial and some not so beneficial aspects of that law, of those laws. And we want to make sure that you guys don't miss that. And thank you. Thank you so much for checking us out, checking out this recording. And yeah, we're just like super stoked and excited about making sure that you guys are getting the information and that you're fully and highly informed so that you can make those strategic and well-informed decisions around your business. All right, well, have a great one, and we'll see you on the next one.